those people will not make it out of here alive.
Hello and welcome back to Yap Back, the show where I yap and you yap back. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to deep dive into some speculation because I am going to make this statement now. One of the Scions will be dying in the next saga because I need that level of devastation in my life. I feel like at this point with Final Fantasy XIV, I need that uneasiness to it. I need to not feel like everyone is safe and the power of friendship will save everyone because, sometimes it's not. And it makes me think back to some of the most memorable moments in Final Fantasy being when we have to have those bittersweet goodbyes with beloved characters. And I think of FF10, I think of Ysayle, I think of Ardbert, even Final Fantasy XIII. So, it really is a key factor into getting you so invested into the stories of the characters and then feeling more real and transient rather than just plot armored and always gonna make it through it. So, with that in hand, let us get to the first two. I'm pairing them up because they come in pairs. Alisaie and Alphinaud. Yeah, they're going into the I'd go into mourning tier because it's not really up for discussion. If one of the twins died, I couldn't do it. It'd be too sad. It'd be too sad to deal with. How am I meant to walk on at that point? How am I meant to walk forward? I have pretty much raised these children from my whole journey in this game. They have been by my side. So I can't, that's just not happening. We're not even going to think about it. The only way I'd entertain it is if it meant that one of them was going to have a villain arc and become an antagonist. But I don't think they're ever going to do that. But that would be quite interesting if one of their deaths caused that. More so in Alisaie rather than in Alphinaud. Because I definitely feel like Alisaie's character and her type of character definitely has the ability to go there and for it to be believable. And that would be very bittersweet, but it'd be very awesome as well. That can also happen without either one of them dying, as if the twins actually end up on opposite ends of the spectrum at one point. I don't know why right now, but I'm here for that kind of conflict. However, they're not dying. Not yet, because I think every player in this game would mourn them. Jesus. Anyway, on to our next one. I'm going to do G'raha. Yeah, I'd go into mourning too for G'raha. He's just been through too much. We've already lost him twice, pretty much. It felt like we lost him twice. I don't know why I couldn't speak then. But he's just at that point where, for me, it's the fact that we've made that promise to him. Our characters, we made the promise to him to journey and adventure with him. So I can't have him die, because that would be devastating. He's gone through so much, and I think it's not just he's sacrificed so much for everyone to to stop the Ember, stop another calamity, to help save the first. He already sacrificed himself to do that, to close off the Crystal Tower. I don't think he needs to go for any more trauma. Just let him be a happy cat. Yeah, just let him be a happy cat. Live a life like all the other cats in life do. They can chill, they can sleep, and they can soak up the lavishes of life. Moving on to Estinian. I don't know if I'd mourn Estinian. I think Estinian is too cool. He's too cool to die, and I think he's too cool to mourn, because if that man's going to go out, he's going to go out with triumph and in a blaze of glory. So Estinian, I'm really not that worried about. It's more likely he'll go missing for a little bit and just wander off somewhere than it is likely for him to die. Especially, I just feel like with the dragons being still around, and hopefully we're eventually going to go to Mericidia where there are dragons, it's just such a crucial thing, I feel like, to have him with us for that experience. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna use some dead tier characters here. At least she's technically dead, okay? I have not seen her, for like 2 expansions. Maybe she was in Endwalker, and if she was, I forgot where she was. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe we'll hear Sia in the next saga. Memphilea's already dead, and I doubt we're going to get any reflections of Memphilia. Papalimo, yeah, that's fine. You can. I don't think we're going to see him ever again. And Ida, same. We never really knew you. So yeah, let us move on to Tataru. I feel like it would just be cruel if they killed Tataru. What has she done to deserve death? It'd be one of those deaths where it's like, that was really unnecessary. And it's so unnecessary, it's hurtful. But it would also make me hate a villain if they did that. It makes me think back to when, like, Vesper Bay got invaded or, like, sought out by the Power Rangers. And they just, like, attacked our secret base. Like, it was like, oh, okay, that's not on, that's not game. This is serious. Like, is that kind of like, you're being petty? I'm petty enough now to have enough motivation to take on any coming antagonist that is gonna even dare to hurt someone like Tataru. She's just trying to do her best and make money, which, you know, I can relate to. I can relate to bad. Next up, we got Cryo. Cryo is a not your time. I feel like Cryo's story has just begun, really. Like, obviously, Cryo's been a very staple character throughout all of, like, from, well, yeah, even from, like, a Realm Reborn, like a late Realm Reborn, if I remember correctly, to Heaven's Ward and whatnot. She's sort of been there, and then she's finally had her time in her spotlight, and obviously with like Mericidia and like with the Lala's homeworld, the Malala. It's one of those where she still has a lot of story to explore, I think, and that's quite important for her to be there. I don't think her story's tied up yet, and she's got more growing to do as a person, where she sort of has more clarity now with like who she is and less questions. So that'd be really cool to see how Cryo develops moving forward, especially within like if Shardian's ever going to come back into play, and like this, like that sort of thing, because obviously their journey's over. But if they learn of this next calamity, how are they gonna react, and how can like Cryo and the students of Baldesion be an intermediary between that, if they wanted to go endeavor down more like ethical/political concepts in the story. And then we are coming up to our last 3, and we all know Y'shtola's gonna die at some point with a fake death. I don't think Y'shtola's gonna die unless she's dying to fulfill her life's work and her goal of developing and creating interdimensional travel and giving her life to succeed, but never being able to reap the rewards. Like, she's one of those characters who would plant a tree but never be able to sit under its shade. And like that's what makes her so great and so selfless, is that she is willing to go that far for people, and to achieve goals and discover mysteries. And it's that defiance of where other people would either hesitate or stop. She doesn't. She just goes for it, and it will be a sad day if she ever goes, or when she does go. And on to Yuri Ange. For me, he could be in the dying tier, because his story's wrapped up. Like, M. Walker wrapped up his story so well. Him and Thancred weren't really in Dawntrail all too much. Obviously, he has a connection with like the Loperates and having the Loperates, but I feel like they're sort of becoming much more independent and involved with the world itself a lot more now, so they're not necessarily needing that segue with him to be introduced. So it would really depend where they want to go with his story and what he would die for, or how they want to develop him further. Because for me, his character arc was really beautiful. It really was beautiful. Really hit home. It was really great. It was a great arc. So maybe he won't die, but he might just be like retired. That is a possibility. Like Lisa's retired, but he would come back, I hope, at some points. And then on to my number one. Actually, he needs to go at the top. Thancred, he will be dying. I can feel it in my bones, especially because I went back and I've rewatched some of like the Shadowbringers stuff, especially like with Infidia and Reen, and it's like, he should have died then. He should have died then. If he died then, that would have been devastating. Like, Reen would have accepted herself, accepted her power, and become her own person. And like, we just lost Minfidia through that process, and then we also lose Thancred defending Reen's ability to be able to become her own person and make that choice. So I definitely think if Thancred's going to go, it's going to be because he's going to sacrifice himself for Reen, depending how the mini rejoinings go, whether those happen or not, and what implications they have rippling across all the shards. So it'll be very interesting to see where they go with it, but I am pretty confident this man is not making it to the end of the next saga, or at least to the saga after. But we shall see. Anyway, thank you for listening to this YAP Back episode. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below who you think might be on the chopping board in the next saga of Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you!